20% effort for 80% reward is what we're being invited to align with this new moon in Libra and the full moon in Taurus that's coming up. So for all of us who identify as light leaders, as star seeds, as empaths, as way showers, it is so important to recognize that our sensitivity is a gift, but it's learning how to work with it in a way that when the cosmic climate is as intense as it is right now, it doesn't throw us under, and we're giving ourselves permission to rest and recalibrate, rest and receive. So yes, you are in the right place. I am Rosanna RozyGlow Hannes. Welcome to those of you in the Manifesting StarPeace Utopia Facebook group. This is my private members area for those of you who are interested in my work that want to get to know me further. If you're not yet a member and you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for hitting the all notifications tab. And if you check out the link in the text box, you'll find an invitation to this group that you can be a part of. And this is really where we get to stand up and be counted, because I'm here for those of you who are ready to move beyond the oscillation, to move beyond the I'm in, but I'm not fully in, I'm on the fence, and actually to make the commitment to align fully with the divine in you and to co-create peace on earth. That's what we're here to do. And we're here to do it through a variety of tools, which I'll be sharing as we unpack the energies of this new moon in Libra and the full moon in Aries. So full moon in Taurus. So stay tuned if you want to know how to support yourself through these times, and actually what's going to support you most with the new moon energy and what you can expect as we build up towards the full moon release. Because every full moon I host a Lunar Alchemy live where you get to co-create in real time with me. And if you care about what's going on in the world today, if you would like to see the end of the new world order, if you would like to see the World Economic Forum, and also well, let's just say the digital pass ideas and everything else completely foobarred, you want to join me to access your imagination and to co-create from a state of grace, because together we are being invited now to imagine a whole new world into being. And the opposition has to be there. We have to have the things we don't want to get clear on what we do want. And we have just had 2 new moons in Virgo to get us super clear about the structural shifts that are required in us. We are required to make, we are required to take action in order to allow the force of source to channel through us in the most constructive way. That is what the new moons in Virgo that we had and the full moon in Aries was all about. Now the foundations have been laid for I am rooted in love and my foundation is peace. And this is how we co-create a Thrive paradigm from these foundations. So it's all about security now: national security, international security, personal security, global security, emotional security, mental security, physical security, spiritual security. And it's also about how we find our center when we have been so used to extremes. Polar opposites allow us to then get clear on what our midline is. And we are being invited now, my friends, to tip the balance from being wired to survive to being wired to thrive. I feel like I've been talking about this forever, and I probably have. But the point is, now the world seems to be taking note and listening and understanding that this isn't something that just happens. It does start with a decision. But that decision is then to align both your feet, your whole body with this idea, and then to look at the parts of you that really don't want to play ball, that insist the way things have been is the way that they're always going to be, and therefore to make it impossible to believe that we can actually have the changes we're calling in. I know that's not true. You know, I know we're fast approaching an anniversary, which is the StarPeace anniversary. It's when I first got the memo 5 years ago in 2020 that in our universe, the light has won, that Star Wars is over, it's time for StarPeace. And I was told to go forth and spread this message. Now, I'll never forget the first time I heard this voice and I went, what? I mean, this was just after BJ. Our Prime Minister at the time had announced another lockdown, and I know everyone was feeling really despondent and wondering when this was all going to end. I went to bed with a very heavy heart. And this is important because now we are living out the other side of this. So bear with me as I explain it. I remember waking up and being told that my mission had changed, that my new mission, should I choose to accept it, was actually to spread this message that the light had won. And I remember asking the question, well, how am I going to do that? You know, I'm a coach, I'm a yoga teacher. And the message I got was through the power of your imagination. I was like, oh, great. Thanks for the memo. What does that mean? Little did I know that my role in this world was being changed, shifted, and it was particularly to work with the entertainment industry, with conscious creatives. And I'm saying this because your mission has also shifted. As you're watching this, any of you who are connected to this, it is so important to know that every new month, new moon, full moon, we get new codes, right? We get new codes to integrate. And when you have completed a level of your soul mission, it's time to go to the next level. And every time we do this, there are endings that precede beginnings. So if we are not comfortable with change, we really struggle with this. And it's an ego death, okay? It's a sense of self-identity death as you let go of an old role in your life and you embrace a new one. When I got told I was going to start working with the entertainment industry, with conscious creatives, with those who want to use fame to help raise the frequency of the planet, to help raise the frequency of humanity, not just for vanity's sake, but really to get a message out there, I remember thinking, how am I going to do this? But I'm living the reality now where my work life has completely changed. And what I do now is I work behind the scenes with conscious creatives who are putting music out there, who are putting scripts out there, who are putting art out there that is literally changing the consciousness of the collective for their highest good. They're learning how to metabolize their pain. So instead of just projecting pain out into the world, because that's what we do as artists. If you are a creative, if you write songs, write poems, write music, write poet, like anything. Yeah, usually when we're inspired, it is when we're in deep pain. And it is how we work with that pain. Are we just going to puke it out into the world and go, here, you deal with it because I don't know what to do with it. So feel my pain, world. Or are you going to go, hey, this is the pain I'm in. Who resonates with this? I have already been able to work with it through this process. I'm meeting my pain, I'm meeting my trauma, and I'm turning it into treasure. Thank you, Genix, for that beautiful line. And that's what we want to see with conscious creativity. It's being able to meet people where they are and take them where we want to go. So we resolve together. Instead of it just being unprocessed pain that's put out into the collective, what we end up doing is we meet in the issue, in the problem, and we create the solution together. So by the time you finished a song or an album or a piece of work that you've read or you've watched on TV, you've gone from identifying with the problem to being part of the solution. If you love what I'm saying here, please put a star piece in the comments. And I would love you all to be inspired that initially, when we ask the question, we don't have the answer, right? We don't have the answer. When we ask the question, we are just going to pose it into the field. And the message that the StarPeace Collective gave me earlier, because I had a download in the middle of the night, which I will read out to you all, was, you know, put good prompts in. Like anything, when you ask the right questions, you will get the answers coming back, but they're not instant. You have to put them out into the field. Take it from your head, from your mouth, from your heart, and say, how can this be better? How can I overcome this challenge? How can I see that this is a good thing that's happening? And I say this particularly in relation to things that seem out of our control. This is part of this mission update, is how we deal with what is beyond our control, how we take responsibility for what is in our control, and how we deal with what is not in our control. Now, we might think that we have no influence on what goes on in terms of government directives, global agendas, etc., but we have a lot of influence. We can either feel like helpless victims, or we can choose to raise our frequency to be in the frequency of seeing solution rather than problem. Like even with the example of digital passes, I'm not a fan. I don't want one, of course, right? This idea of like someone else being able to control everything. But then at the same time, like they do that anyway. There's nothing new here. It's just being brought to light. So what good can come of this? What good can come of there being transparency in the collective? Accountability, integrity. These are the three masculine or yang elements of the 6 pillars of divine human leadership, which is one of the star maps. In my phenomenal book, StarPeace 101, How to Create Peace in One Generation. I just want to say, if you haven't read this book yet, I've got some great announcements about it that I'll be revealing on the anniversary of StarPeace on the 31st of October. I'm going to be inviting everybody in my community to join me in my private Zoom room. There are only 100 spots. It is completely free. So just remember, if you want to join me and interact with me, you're going to want to sign up ASAP as soon as I put it out there. And the other reason I'm mentioning this now is in chapter 34, you have the StarPeace Manifesto. Now, you can actually take hold of this manifesto. If you go to starpeaceconsciousness.com, the website, you'll see there the manifesto is laid out, and you can sign the manifesto and add light to it. But if you have got a copy of the book, you can read it and see that what we're doing as part of the StarPeace Collective, as part of what I'm doing here in the Manifesting StarPeace Utopia Facebook group, and also in the memberships that I offer, is actually bringing the manifesto to life, imagining into being these circumstances, and as a result of that, clearing resistance to it with every full moon. So whilst you're here with me, what I would love to know is if you have any questions as I'm going through what is going on now, please let me know so that I can address them. Because while I'm here, we have the opportunity to basically deal with things in real time. And I'm very happy to tune into the StarPeace Collective and ask them questions. So if you have got any comments, please do put them so that I can actually read them. And remember, there's often a time lag, so get the comments in sooner rather than later. And I'd love to know who's here with me today. So if you're feeling brave and you want to say hello, say hello. How are you feeling? How have you been doing with the current energies? I have been feeling flat as a pancake, and I'm not the only one. I know I've been connecting with other light leaders, other way showers, other luminaries who've also kind of been feeling the sense of what's the point? And I remember this very well when we were in the energy of what was going on 5 years ago. And I just want to say a very important element of what's happening now, as we're coming into, like in the Northern Hemisphere, the clocks are going back. In the Southern Hemisphere, they're going forward. So as we're coming into the deeper darkness of November, December, January, February, before the light returns again in the Northern Hemisphere, we're being invited to bring the light into the darkness. That's what we get to do. Okay. So in so doing, the invitation is really to notice what's going on with your light body. And if you remember, 2 months ago, we had the Lion's Gate portal active. That was the 8th to the 12th of August. Now, we were told this year that it was about light body expansion. Last year, we were given the opportunity for 1,000-fold expansion for those of us who wanted it. For those of us who have a global mission, those of us who have an international mission, those of us who have a cosmic mission to grow our tribe, or to grow our visibility, or to work with powerful people, even if it's behind the scenes and no one knows you're doing it. Hello. This is the point, is to do this in such a way that we have massive impact, the kind of impact that affects our solar system, affects our galaxy, affects our universe. Now, if that feels too big for you, I hear you. I hear you. We all feel scared when we're expanding. But this space is for those of you who are willing to feel the fear and do it anyway. If you're in a place of, I'm not sure, give it a go, I'd like you please to leave. All right, this is not a space for you. You will not enjoy the work that I do. You will not enjoy my transmissions, because they are about accountability. They are about moving beyond this idea that we can't do something. And the absolute prerequisite to that is owning where we feel like a victim. Now, there's a difference between being a victim of something and being in a state of victim consciousness. So I will talk a little bit more about the relationship between victim consciousness and karma, and how we can actually turn our consciousness around in a moment. But for now, know that for the rest of this 30 minutes or so, that'll go on for, we're going to receive a little transmission from the StarPeace Collective. I will answer any questions you have. I'm going to seed for you what is key for us to align with the new moon energies, to prepare us for the full moon energies, and what I'm going to be inviting you into there. But I'm very much have found myself in this place of flat battery energy, kind of coming to a place where I'm like, what's draining me? And this is a question to ask yourself. Who and what is draining you? Where are there connections in your lives that are just not serving you anymore? Are you willing to actually utilize what was 2 rainbow gems ago, which was remember your bullshit barriers and fuck off fences? So important to hold your own boundary and be like, hey, don't be bringing that into my energy field. I'm a no-go zone for this. And at the same time, not resisting. It's like, let them. Okay, you want to show it like that? That's fine. But I don't have time for that. I'm not energizing that. I'm not engaging with it. So you have to decide what you do give fucks about and what you don't give fucks about. And to literally let yourself be it's okay. I'm not going to work with this. Off you go. You do your thing. Carry on in your vortex until you're ready to evolve into a different frequency, and then I'll see you there. We can't change other people, my friends. I have learned this the hard way. I spent 4 months plugging the lowest cost membership I have, £14.44 a month. Do you know how much harder that was than actually engaging with my multimillionaire clients and allowing myself to be open to more and more clients coming to me that are resonating at the highest frequency that I work at? Huge. And this is the thing, is we often find we spend our time feeling like we have to keep doing things because we should keep doing them, because it's what good people do. It's what you should do if you care about the world. You should favor the underdog. You should favor the hardest path available to you. And I'm just going to say to you, scrap that. Okay, it doesn't serve anyone. It just makes you bitter, twisted, and frustrated. Okay, and the very people that you seek to help, you end up projecting your crap onto, because you're like, why can't you see the gift here? Why can't you just show up, commit, do the work, and see what happens? And that's where I got to. So back to light bodies. August was about light body expansion. It was also about getting ready to really light up our light bodies. This month, new moon Libra, full moon Taurus, is about lighting up the expanded light body. And we're going to be working with strengthening this for the next 4 months. Mark my words. Okay. So October, November, December, January, February, let's call it 5, but we're near the end of October now. So by the time we get to March and the light returning, we are going to be in a completely different state where we have stabilized in our new expanded light body, and we're ready for the things that we have been calling in. And literally, when you hear the transmission from the StarPeace Collective, you'll see our inner world is changing so much that the inner conflict isn't there. So the energies right now are about harmony. What is going to bring more harmony into your life? And also, please bear in mind that if you do want to switch 80% effort for 20% reward for 20% effort for 80% reward, you don't get to show up the same way you were showing up before. I'm literally scrapping everything that I feel is heavy on me, everything that feels like a burden. Right now, that doesn't mean scrapping our children, our partners, tough moments where we have to see through, right? I'm not saying that I feel like that at all about my family, but I'm just saying here that the important thing is to notice the constant nagging and pulling at you that is going on either in your work or in your personal life or even in your hobbies or in your healthcare routines, and just making the choice. Is this really what I want? Or is there something better available for me? Is there another way? What could be better than this? And I want everyone here to understand that when you tend to your garden, your inner world, this is an act of world service. When you clean up your space, right? Your internal landscape and the space around you, your home, your backyard, that is a gift to world peace. That is a gift to the ascension of humanity. So it's really key that we own the power we do have to actually make a change in this world, because that is how we're going to change it. So let me come into the rest of the keynotes and then I'm going to move on. So tipping the scales, inviting a new balance. What does it take? Well, first of all, it takes imagination. Who is the me who shows up and feels confident to accept the opportunities that are coming my way? Who is the me that wakes up in the morning with a song in her heart? Who is the me that feels motivated at the start of the day to get on with some kind of health routine or self-care routine or plugging into source routine? You know, when we are going through a change, we have to recognize that the old version of us must be allowed to die in order for a new version of us to be born. So this is very similar, and I talk about it in the book, to how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. There's a cocoon, a baby under construction, a new creation under construction. So you create the cocoon. Within that cocoon, the old self dissolves and becomes this liquid mush, which in the 12 stages of creation, this is the state of dissolution, right? The putridness, the dissolution that then makes space for the fertile soil for what we want to plant new seeds in. So in that time where the caterpillar is becoming this liquid, it's starting to imagine what it's like to be a butterfly. But it doesn't get to go from being a caterpillar to a butterfly. It doesn't just suddenly do that. It has to dissolve, be in a state of something neutral before it steps into what it becomes. So going from survival to neutral to thriving is what we're talking about here. Now, you tell me the last time you know this world was thriving. If you know, put it in the comments. When was the last time this world was thriving? You talk about Lemuria, you talk about Atlantis, you talk about when? 1953, like when? We have had these world wars, we have had genocides, we have had so many different things go on whilst we've been on this path of surviving for a very long time. I can't tell you how long. Is it thousands of years? Is it hundreds of thousands of years? If you want to rely on what's written, just remember it's been written by someone. How do they know? We really don't. And the more we can accept this, we all want fact, we all want concrete, we all want something that is something we can rely on. And the essence of what we can rely on is within. Because actually, as we perceive things differently, we have a different experience. And if you have your fear goggles on, you will see the world from your survival programming. If you take the fear goggles off and you put on your rosy colored glasses, or you allow yourself to see through the mindset of thriving, through the perception filter of thriving, you will see opportunities where you only saw problems. And that is the difference. It's how we work with our mindset and the subconscious. Now, New Moon Libra is about sacred union. It's about inner mum and dad having evolved to the point that we are an embodiment of this, of the resolved, mature, sacred and divine masculine and feminine. All right. And this is where we can meet our inner child and notice what the inner child wants and needs and bring forward what is required to help that inner child of ours have the experience it wants. We don't do it for them. We give them the essence of what's required for them to succeed at what they desire to experience, because that's the point of creation, to have the experience. I want to quote Wyndham James because I was with him and we had a lovely connection this week on Wednesday, okay? And he reminded me of this idea that we are the universe having a human experience. I absolutely love that. So I'm going to say to you the key qualities you need to write these down: imagination, persistence, and commitment. Okay, these are essential, and also overcoming victim consciousness. Now, that's easy for me to say, but when it feels like everything is bombarding you at the same time, I know people at the moment who've lost their jobs, who are losing their houses, who, don't feel well supported emotionally, financially, or psychologically, or physically, very much feel on their own, facing what seems like a mountain that is relentless, right? How do we overcome this? Well, I had an interesting conversation with someone that made me realize that where I experience hardship in my own life, one way I can look at it is I can either keep saying, why me? Why does this keep happening to me? Why did I choose this? Why did I choose these circumstances? Because I believe we do choose our circumstances. I could challenge that belief too, right? But why is this? Instead of that, I can say, okay, what is being balanced in me as a result of this? Maybe there is some karma to address here. Maybe what I am doing is I am doing this on behalf of the collective of my bloodlines because I have got the consciousness to be able to deal with something in such a way that I can collapse timelines. I can shorten the karma on this by working with the tools I have and remembering my soul consciousness. Because when we do that, we enter into hyperdrive. It's like you get to access your superpowers, where most humans are not even aware they have superpowers. So if you're watching this, you are a starseed, you are a light leader, you are a luminary, whether you realize it or not. In your family, in your environment, you are the one holding light codes that people around you do not have. And so when you ask for them to guide you, to support you, when you invite miracles and magic in, when you remember last week's Rainbow Gem, that trust is code word for magic, and you allow yourself to do what this week's Rainbow Gem, which will be revealed tomorrow, is all about, you will notice that yes, things could have been absolutely horrendous, but what's happened instead is opportunities have come about that have put you on a path that you could never have dreamed of yourself, right? So first of all, you have to use your imagination to ask the question, what does it feel like to not struggle in this situation? How can I invite more grace and ease in? I'm calling in a miracle, which is a shift in perspective that allows the impossible to become possible. Right? When you open to this kind of self-inquiry, which happens after you've been on the floor going, I can't do this anymore, I need help. So many of us have been feeling the stretch mentally, right? I know for me, my Achilles heel presently is when I just feel there's so much information coming in, being bombarded with so many different energies that I'm just in a constant state of overwhelm. And this is the thing, as we're evolving, it's a decluttering process, my friends. Less is more. Like what I'm seeing more and more and what I want to offer in this world, it's simplicity. It's grounding and earthing out of overwhelm. Instead of giving you 10 I am statements, I'm going to give you 2. We've already been given the foundational coding. Now we need to go back and just go deeper with certain elements, right? Instead of giving you 5 tools, I'm going to give you 1. I'm going to say, you know what? Use this one tool, only this one, until it has sunk in, until it is deeply anchored. And when it has, then we'll see what's next. And this is where you work the path of 5D, my friends. This is the light work and mission update. It's when you see the bigger picture of where you want to be in this world. You don't worry about how it's going to happen. You just ask for the next step. And the next step is to learn to hold frequency. That's exactly what I invite you into. You're watching this now to access frequency codes that will allow you to see where you can actually create change rather than feel like you're being blown about by the winds of change. I am connecting with you now to transmit the StarPeace codes and the Paradise Earth codes through me so you can feel that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that you are the light and you are the change that you're calling in. And as you make that shift in yourself and you decide, yeah, I'm going to use my imagination. Yeah, I'm going to be consistent, persistent, and committed. And yeah, I'm going to look at these challenges in my life and ask with curiosity, how can I be the change here? How can I help overcome the challenges here? How can I minimize the impact, the negative impact this has on me and everyone around me? And this is very important because we have Chiron and Eris both wreaking havoc, apparently, or playing out different roles with this new moon energy. So Libra, everyone I know is a Libra, often sits on the fence, often seeks to sort of find some common ground and not to tip the balance too much, like not force the extremes. And there's value to this. The important thing is not to sweep things under the carpet in order to try and keep the peace. So last month, we were working with a particular I am statement that was about leading from our highest self-consciousness and uniting in universal consciousness, right? Now, what this was about is moving beyond humanity uniting against a common enemy and evolving into uniting towards a common goal. So the I am statement that is for the new moon energy is, I am embodying the divine masculine and divine feminine. I'm just going to actually double check that, she says very confidently, because it came through in the middle of the night. There we go. I am the embodiment of the divine. I am the embodiment of the sacred union, of divine sacred union. Can't read my own writing. I am the embodiment of divine sacred union. So that's the one code that you want to take with this new moon. And remember, I'm a big fan of taking a bottle of water, putting the I am statements on a piece of paper under the water. This is your master bottle. So this stays in the fridge or on your counter if you don't want cold water. And you fill your daily bottle from it, okay? So you can put the I am statements on the bottle, but if you just put them on a piece of paper underneath and you work with the new moon energy, so that will be on Tuesday, you can put this out Tuesday night and just activate with the new moon energy, then there'll be new codes that come in with the full moon as well. But just working with the energy of I am the embodiment of divine sacred union is going to hold you in really good stead for these energies, okay? Now, it is so important we really allow ourselves to imagine a world beyond overwhelm, beyond feeling under-resourced and going to extremes as a result. So what does harmony feel like within? And it's important you ask that question. and let yourself receive the answer. What does harmony feel like inside of me? Right? What does that feel like? Now, I'd love you to mark your diaries for Friday, the 31st of October. As I said, there will be an invite coming out to my inner circle. So please make sure you've joined my mailing list at RozyGlow.com, even at StarPeaceConsciousness.com, so you can receive this invite. It's a free event. I've got some wonderful announcements. I just want to tap into the energy of the StarPeace codes that started to come through on Halloween. And this was Samhain, the day before All Saints' Day, so the day before we raise the dead, and the veils are thinnest between the unseen and the seen world. We have so many guides and teachers supporting us. Our ancestors are guiding us to liberate ourselves. Our star families, the ascended masters that we feel most connected to, whatever your concept of an angel or an archangel is, whether it's just a frequency, like some of us are kind of feeling more into the idea that these are sacred geometries, these angels, angles, rather than winged beings. But however you see it is absolutely fine. The important thing is to tap into the support that's available. When you ask for help, you'll receive it. And if you have a direct relationship with the crystalline codes, with the Christ within, you call on the Christ within. You cast the burdens to the Christ within. Whatever works for you, work with it. Because then we're coming into this full moon live on the 3rd, and that's when I'm going to be hosting it, the 3rd of November. So you can mark your diaries now for the Lunar Alchemy live. This is only available through the StarPeace Utopia. No, it's not the manifesting, the StarPeace Paradise Earth portal. Okay, so Manifesting StarPeace Utopia is the Facebook group. The StarPeace Paradise Earth portal is this super low cost membership. It's only £14.44 a month. You get lots of extras, including new moon masterclasses. And this month's new moon masterclass that will be released 2 days from now with the new moon is about putting your soul in control of activating your sacred union, of calling in your sacred union. So it's very relevant to put your highest self-consciousness in control of attracting either a new relationship or an upgrade in your current relationship. And if you haven't yet seen the raw Rozy I did recently, which is on my YouTube channel, RozyGlow, this is probably the most honest, deep dive I've ever done about my own personal journey from being a toxic love magnet to attracting my divine counterpart, my ascension partner, my husband. And, you know, we actually recently had an amazing leap in our own relationship, which came from being able to reveal something to each other. And it feels so nice, I have to say this, to be in a relationship where there are no secrets, where there's nothing that feels like it's been swept under the carpet to keep the peace. It's all above board. But there was something in a deeper revelation of both my own vulnerability and his that has allowed us to really deepen an even deeper connection, if that makes sense, to go deeper into our bond, into our allied nature, even though we're very different, and to overcome things that till now seemed to have the better of us, right? So I say this with love because you constantly keep growing in your relationships if you seek to, in sacred union. So check out the Raw Rozy. I'd love to know your feedback on it, how it resonated with you. And it's particularly going to appeal to those of us who are hyper independent, who feel like we don't want to need anyone, who want love but on our terms, who want change but on our terms, who maybe have a perspex wall around our heart that we're not even aware of, where we're great at dishing it out but not so good at receiving, and where we're actually blocking the flow of the things we want. I say we because that used to be me. And what it took was for me to realize that I just needed someone in my life who was truly willing, able, resourced to do so, because some people want to, but they're not able, committed. And through that deep desire that they mirror in me, right? Because you have to really want each other. You have to really be into each other. This is not like, oh, let's see how it goes. Do I really, really want to be with you? Right? And you know that when it seems as though you can't be with them, you'll really feel, is it that I want it or not? Right? And when the commitment is made, when the opportunity is made and you meet your match, step forward. They're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. You, in your imperfection, grow into greater harmony together. And that's very important. Okay, so let's move on. So as I said, the full moon live is on the 3rd of November and it's in the energy of Taurus. So the full moon live will be at 8 p.m. GMT on Monday. Please check That's Monday, the 3rd of November. Please check your time zone because the clocks are changing at different times. So I'm not going to say what time it is in the rest of the world, but it's 8 p.m. GMT. Okay, so we have, our clocks will have gone back at that point. So check when it is for you. Mark your diary. If you are already a member of the of the StarPeace Paradise Earth Portal, this is the Lunar Alchemy Live, where you'll get to join me in my Zoom room when we co-create in real time. This is the time that you get to access me and ask me anything you want, and I can work with you to support you in the shifts you want. The important thing is to show up if you can, because I co-create with the energies of everyone who does show up. If you catch the replay, those energies will be woven in as well. But the important thing is that you show up if you can. Okay, this is how we stand up and get counted. Now, what this is going to be about for us is calling in the frequency codes, and I can say it to you now. I am safe and secure in my essence. I am safe and secure in my essence. Now, this is key. If you think it's like, I am the embodiment of divine sacred union, that's the new moon energy. And then I am safe and secure in my essence. Anything that doesn't feel safe and secure in your life is going to come up to be cleared. All right. Now, there is another I am statement that is beautifully aligning us with wealth, abundance, love, health, all the good stuff, right? And I'm going to be revealing that on the full moon Lunar Alchemy Live. And when we work with that particular statement along with these two, it opens up the doorways to allow instant shifts. This is the point. You can have a miracle land instantly, but if you have not become the version of you that can accept that miracle, you will sabotage it until it becomes that thing that's too good to be true, because you have looked for that and that's what you've created. So remember, so much of what we experience is down to how we're perceiving things. And everyone I know who's struggling, I'm going to say this really with love, but it's blunt, are so attached to that struggle story as part of your self-identity. I'm not saying we. This is on you, all right? Wherever you are struggling, that is where your self-identity is tied in with that struggle story. You think that's who you are. Whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's health, you think this is who you are. Now, okay, so I've said that, and then you go, all right, Rosie, well, what do I do about that? Yes, okay, I accept that. Now what? Well, in the accepting, noticing fixes more than fixing. So I now want to let go of my self-identity being linked with this issue. Who is the me? And you ask the question, who is the me that is beyond this? Who is the me that is thriving in this area? Who is the me? How do they show up? Because as I said before, you can't keep doing the same thing. I've literally changed everything in my world. The things that have come up for me with the last 2 new moons were about the structures required in my finances to allow me to expand more, and in my business to allow me to expand more. What were the structures I needed, because the two are linked? And also, what structures did I need in my health routines to embody the me that is ready for all of this expansion in my financial and my business world? And you know what? It's meant getting rid of the 2 team meetings a week. It's, I mean, an overhaul in my team, the roles people are playing. It's like even looking at my businesses and saying, who are they serving? What are they doing? Is there something else I want to be doing instead? This one's making money, this one's challenged. Why is that? Do I want to change the narrative here? What do I want instead? 2 thriving businesses. Show me what that looks like. You know from what you don't want, what you do want. So I'm giving you real life examples because I want you to shake it up. You've got to turn things around, my friends. You don't get to stay the same and expect things to change around you. You are going to have to change. Your frequency changes. And it comes through asking the right questions. So this feels like the perfect time to bring in the message from the StarPeace Collective. And again, I'm just going to check and see if there are any messages from anybody before we get going. Let's see. So if you've got any comments, my friends, please do put them in. I'd love to know what's going on. At the moment, it seems that I'm not seeing the comments. So let's see if I can find a way to do that here. This is your moment because I'm going to share the transmission now. And this is really a gift that the StarPeace Collective gave to me to share with you. So, we have got people here. Okay, so Kate's saying intense pressure back of the skull and neck. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Kate. Hello, hello, hello. So anyone else who's here, let me know, and I'll get on with this transmission. So yeah, just to speak to that, Kate, the intense pressure, the back of the skull and the neck, this is the reptilian brain is getting an upgrade, right? This is like we have the neocortex at the front, the conscious mind that thinks, rationalizes. You have the limbic brain in the middle. The middle of your brain is like the emotional brain. It's emotional responses in relation to stimuli. And then the back of the brain is the reptilian brain. This is the the spinal cord. This is what connects us to fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So when we are in a hyperadrenalized state, which is most of us all of the time, bombarded with information, we're constantly looking out for problems. So for us to have the upgrade from surviving to thriving, which is where we are right now, this part of us has to get an upgrade. So great time to see a cranial osteopath or a craniosacral therapist. Great time if you know how to do a little bit of this gentle work. And in fact, that could be a nice, I'm going to share a bit of that in the Lunar Alchemy Live. Okay, so for those of you who are joining me for the Lunar Alchemy Live, I'll be showing you how you can support a little shift in the spinal fluid and the cerebral fluid to allow for balance and harmony on a whole other level, because we're learning to harmonize in the thrive paradigm, not the surviving paradigm. So here's the message that came through, and it was like last night my guides woke me up and they were like, be still so we can connect with you. We are the StarPeace Collective. I was like, okay, I'll go downstairs. Had a couple of hours chatting. So, and there's a lot here that is very, very important for us to recognize around, as I said, what's going on in the world. I want you to imagine a reality where these external control mechanisms or supposed authorities, those that some call the deletes, right? Some call the 1%, whatever you want to call it. They're foobarred. They're foobarred, so exposed. Everyone knows who they are. Everyone knows what they're doing. It's actually happening, all right? It is happening. It's just some things are being revealed in the mainstream and some are not yet. But just imagine it's all there. 144 as I say this. So calling in the energy of the 144,000 star seeds. Right. The StarPeace Collective say, shadow, yeah, okay, be still. Let's pass through. Let this pass through you. Nothing is real. Just shadows on a screen. What do you want to watch? The movie of your life is yours to write, act in, and direct. Turn everything on its head. Upside down, what do you see? The opposite of what was before. Digital passes become digital prisons. You know this. So evolve the concept. What good can come from this? Transparency, accountability, integrity. What kind of global system is designed to create safety and freedom for all? Ask the question and the answer will come. Like with ChatGPT or anything else, make sure the right prompts are inputted. Okay, then there was a little message from me. Then we came into oh, so many messages. Here we go. It is time to make dreams real. The structures have been shown. Which you do you want to feed? The old self or the new one? Just by dreaming of a new you, you are energizing this version of you. Just by dreaming of a new you. So we need dreamers to dream of your fantasies, not your nightmares. So we need dreamers to dream of our fantasies, not our nightmares. New Moon Libra is about having dinner with inner mum and dad, letting them know your plans, what you're excited about, what you desire to experience. Full Moon Taurus is about secure, welcoming foundations, beautiful surroundings for optimal growth. Solution-focused planning, diagnostics utilized to plan the best course, the best route. This is about commanding commanding the required resources, and conditioning. What do we want in our world beyond the New World Order and all the stuff that we are letting go of? This is where we come into, I am the embodiment of divine sacred union. I am safe and secure in my essence. Now, this is ours to imagine into being, okay? So I'm going to tune in just a little more and see what else they have to say for us to prepare us. But what I will say to you with this is, if you ask, what changes do I most need to make now? Where do I need to focus most to allow this shift? Write those questions down and then pay attention to the hunches you receive, the dreams you receive, okay? Because we're being called to command a new reality into being. We're being called to shift a focus in the conditioning, survival conditioning, to thriving conditioning. And this is about us choosing how we respond to the same stimuli. It's us responding differently. It's us coming into neutral. The key message for today is you can't go from surviving to thriving without coming into neutral first. So anywhere that you are triggered, anywhere that you find yourself wanting to react, come to neutral and see how you can respond to the same situation from a place where you're not shooting from the hip. You're still maintaining with integrity your truth, but you're doing it from a place where you're not having to attack. You're just holding the line and commanding the respect that you desire, just because you're saying, hey, this is the line here. This is where I'm a yes, this is where I'm a no, and this is what I'm energizing. You energize what you desire, but this is what I'm energizing. What do you want to create? And so the energy of Chiron, the wounded healer, and Eris, Eris is like the energy of destruction, conflict, chaos, but it's not really. It's almost like, if you know of the Hindu god, gosh, my brain, the elephant one. Has anyone else been noticing this? Your brain goes all over the shop. Hanuman. No, not Hanuman. Not Hanuman. Oh God. If anyone could put it in the comments, I could really do with this right now. Ganesha. Ganesha, that's the one. Okay, so Ganesha basically brings obstacles in and also removes obstacles. So in the same way that Eris can create temporary confusion, temporary chaos, temporary conflict, this is for us to then get clear what we do want to align with. So watch out for where you're getting sucked into narratives that get you into fighting energy, and see whether you can put the shifts in place, the changes in place that you know you need in order to move beyond the fight and to lead by example. That doesn't mean that you're fawning. It doesn't mean that you're trying to people please. You can draw a line and say, hey, that doesn't wash with me. This ain't happening in this space with me. But here's what will happen instead. Here's what I'm going to energize. So I want everyone here who has been, please own where you have been moaning, whinging about what's going on in the world, concerned about the impact of certain changes going on in the collective. Can you pull your energy back now and do exactly what the StarPeace Collective suggested? Own how you want things to be. What is the world we want to be? And I'm going to read it out again. It's time to make dreams real. The structures have been shown. Which you do you want to feed, the old self or the new one? Just by dreaming of a new you, you are energizing this version of you. So we need dreamers to dream of our fantasies, not our nightmares. And also, then when it comes to solution-focused planning, diagnostics utilized to plan best course route, commanding required resources and conditioning. So, you know, this isn't begging. It's about stepping into the seat of the you that knows how to evolve beyond all of this. And the question then is, what kind of global system is designed to create safety and freedom for all? Can we all take a moment to ask that question? Come and join me for the Lunar Alchemy Live, where we will be clearing up wherever we feel powerless, right? Wherever we feel we're under-resourced and overwhelmed. and coming into this place where we're planting the kind of global system that is designed to create safety and freedom for all. Guess how we're going to do it? Through our own inner system, creating that in our inner structures and our own inner being. Every one of us is a universe having a human experience. So as you do this for yourself, you do it for the world. Ask the right questions and you'll get the right answers. Okay. So what is a world beyond the FDA, beyond the WHO, beyond the World Economic Forum, beyond all of these things running the show? What does a world look like that we have created for ourselves that really does create safety for all? Let's see if there's a little message from the StarPeace Collective to support us now. I'm going to pick a star map as well. Please remember the star maps are in the book. Now, the star maps are preparing us to transition from the survival world to the thriving world. And I have a phenomenal announcement about these for everyone who's been interested in the oracle cards that are coming. So let's see what the message is from this star map, and then we'll tune into the StarPeace Collective for any final words they have, what we call this a day. So just allowing, what is the key message for our collective? Ah, interesting. So 12 stages of creation is the star map, and it is number 10, death. The required separation of spirit and matter in order for the beginning of a new cycle of creation. This is where we are. It's the death of the struggle paradigm, right? New idea, new business, new project aim. Okay, so I'm going to say it again. The required separation of spirit and matter in order for the beginning of a new cycle of creation. A new idea, a new business, a new project, a new aim, a new dream, a new intention. So I'm declaring now that my new dream, my new intention is to have a community of committed individuals, whether you're part of the StarPeace Paradise Earth Portal, whether you've decided to join the multidimensional yoga and take the energetic shifts we do in the portal and implement them into your physical being, into your energy field. This is where you get the StarPeace Paradise Earth Portal as part of the yoga membership, right? These two memberships are available to everybody, regardless of whether you've done my coaching programs or not. In order to join Rise, my inner circle membership, you must have worked through the Fearless, Loved Up and Limitless course, which is our 6-month survival programming to thrive programming motherboard upgrade. And if you want to know more about that, put Fearless in the comments and I will reach out to you and let you know your next step. But I want to make clear that this new moon is about sacred union. This new moon masterclass that you receive as part of either one of the multidimensional yoga or the StarPeace Paradise Earth Portal memberships is about putting your soul in control of your relationships, inner ones, and also the relationship with your beloved, whether you have a partnership or not. This is key. And if you've been looking at my socials recently, especially the stories, you'll see I've been doing a whole load of stuff around sacred union and knowing your core wound. Is it rejection? Is it abandonment? Is it betrayal? I created a 6-question quiz that basically gets to the heart of it and then gives you the frequency codes to access the sacred union frequency. Now, this is essential if you don't know what the sacred union frequency is. Okay, so let's just have a last little check-in around what the StarPeace Collective have around this. So I'm just bringing in a little bit of light language. I'm calling in the highest self, the highest good of all, commanding that I am a channel of pure source. All that is calling in the StarPeace Collective. Ishtaraya chiki aharanaya ueya siya yashta uraya si niharana ueya chuchuchuraya siya nishtaraya wana iya asaranaya. The time for excuses is over, beloved ones. We know you see this now. We know you now see that efforts will be futile if you keep focusing externally. The work is inside of you. Yes, commitment is required. Persistence is required. Imagination is required. There are shifts going on in the physical and the energetic levels of our beingness. It is essential that you let go, put your soul in control, surrender control to your soul, trust your process. There's no more room for excuses. There's no more room for any more of this idea that there is no power. You all have power. It is time to use it. Nshtukura iawana iasaranaya oraya chieya nishtaraya kieya. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, from now until the full moon in Taurus, is to practice coming into neutral whenever you are triggered. Nishtara iawanaya oraya. Asking the question, how can I be the light in the dark here? Nuraya iasta awanaya oraya. How can I create the structures to allow flow? Nishtaraya chieya aranaya orasieya. What good can come of this? Nustoraya chieya aranaya ia awana. What else is possible? Nustoraya chi. That's what you ask when you have come into neutral. And this is what allows you to step into your Thrive paradigm frequency. This is what allows you to be your highest self-consciousness walking this earth today as an embodiment of ascended master frequency. Nishtaraya chieya. We love you. We ask you to heed the call and start to participate wholly and completely. Nishtaraya chieya nastaraya. Until we meet you for the full moon Lunar Alchemy Live. Nushtaraya chiawanaya. Take good care and join RozyGlow. Nushtaraya chieya awana. The frequency of divine grace. You just call it in, Nushtura, and we are able to communicate with you. So it is, and so it shall be. Nuraya. There you go, my loves. That's an important little message there for everybody. So take it, enjoy it, share it. This will be available on YouTube, so you'll be able to share this with everyone. Please do tune in, listen again, because you'll hear a lot here that will support you. And I will see you in the Lunar Alchemy Live, which is part of the StarPeace Paradise Earth portal on Monday, the 3rd of November. If you want to join it now and access the masterclass that is about calling in your sacred union through your soul consciousness, then go to the link in my text box. I'll put it there just after the video, which will take you to the StarPeace Paradise Earth Portal membership. It's only £14 for a month. You can cancel it anytime you want. I'm hoping you won't, though, because it's your commitment that is actually going to bring the results. The more you oscillate in and out, the more you will find that you delay your manifestation. So just commit to one thing, commit to it consistently, and you will see the results. And if that means you join the multidimensional yoga membership and have the StarPeace Paradise Earth Portal as part of it, yay! Next class is on Tuesday. I can't wait to see you. I love these classes. I love showing up and working with you in real time to co-create through the physical body. For now, you're amazing. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the comments. And remember, if you want to know about the full motherboard circuitry upgrade from surviving to thriving, put fearless in the comments and make sure you have found a way that I can DM you. So whether you've joined the RozyGlow mailing list, which I highly recommend you do, so I can send you an email, or whether you join me in the StarPeace, Manifesting StarPeace Utopia Facebook group, so I can send you a direct message on Messenger, whether you find me on Instagram, make sure that there is a way that I can communicate with you so I can let you know more about Fearless. And I'll also put the quiz link in the comment, in the text box, so you've got that. And the good luck, bad luck story I talked about last time that I forgot to mention more of. Bye-bye for now. Take care. Thank you so much. Lots and lots of love. Bye for now.